pat dažnai jau čia lietuviams tikrai puikiai pažįstama iš įvairių laidų ir ekranų, kalba apie jautrumą turbūt. Apie jautrumą. Ir siekia, kad mes visi būtume daug jautresni. Eskedar, ačiū, kad jūs esate, prašau jūs visi.
Ačiū labai.
Ar iš tribūnos Eskedar, ar norit pajudėti su mikrofonu?
Ir pajudėti
Tai labai
turbūt
gerai.
sveikiau, ne? Good morning, everybody. Today I'll be speaking in English. Even if I do speak Lithuanian, welcome. Labai sveiki atvykę visi iš visos Lietuvos kampelė. Ir labai džiugiu būti čia ir man yra labai didelė garbė. Atėjau tik tai su viena kortelė, apie tai pakalbėsiu. So I came here to this conference was a call from a public relation person from the prosecutor's office. So I got a call and the person said, hello Eskedar, this is Elena from the prosecutor's office. And imagine I came as a refugee to Lithuania. So it's like, oh shit, what did I do? So it's like, but then she said, look, we have a conference. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. So I couldn't say no to this possibility to come out here and to speak to you, and maybe you can take something as well from Lithuania. So, setting precedent, this is how I wanted them to call my speech, because it's not a speech, it's just a case, right? So coming to Lithuania as a refugee, there are so many challenges I've faced. All the way. But at the same time, today, I do have the chance to just stay still and think of what is hate speech, what is discrimination, and what's not, what is ignorance, and what is crime. And I act accordingly. Because when I came to Lithuania, and people call me names on the street, sometimes kids as young as maybe 12, it was hard for me to comprehend everything. If, just to go a little bit back, I left my country because of political persecution. And then I thought that I don't have freedom of speech in my own country, therefore I'll step into another country and protest from there. But I didn't know that that neighboring country is Sudan. So I came to Sudan and I realized that I not only have freedom of speech, but I also do not have freedom of expression. I'm a woman, I'm a Christian woman, and I'm also an immigrant who is illegal immigrant. So you start to realize that, something you take for granted in one of the country is not, you cannot take it for granted in the other. So that's why every day waking up in a country where there is law and order, I make sure that law and order is followed, because as a citizen, if I cannot keep it, it will turn into a country or the countries I was fleeing from. So the story is this. Once closer to my home, a person tries to run over me. I was holding a kid and a car almost hit me, and I'm like, oh my God, the person must be in a hurry. Maybe something bad happened in the family. Maybe he's in a hurry to his family. I just didn't follow the car. I know that, I saw the car, I've seen it in the neighborhood. I just let it go. And then 10 days after, from the same car, 2 men with an underage in the car starts to shout words, bad words, in my opinion. They told me to go home, go back to your country, and then some other words like that I'm a monkey or, many other things. So what I did was I realized that it is the same car. That means what has happened then was not just an accident, someone in a hurry, but it was intentional, and I need to take action. And I have to stay my ground. I don't have a kid on my hand. I took out my phone and I started to film. And at the same time, after filming, I called the police. I write a report, and then the police said they will get back to me, and then that's it. Fast forward 2 months, nothing is happening. So I called the police officers. I just remembered, what happened to that guy, you know? So I called the police, and then they said to me, yeah, he got administrative fine of 200 euros, and he promised that he will not do it ever again. I said, no, you didn't tell me that. You didn't see the case. So I appealed the decision. And my appeal went to court. And I went to court, I made my case, and of course the court decided that it was a discrimination based on race. He was told to pay a fine of 1,000 euros, which I asked to be sent to Jaunimo Linija. It's an organization in Lithuania which works with the youth who are like committing suicide or want to commit suicide. So it's a helpline. So I knew that if I was a kid, if I was an underage, if the same thing would happen to me in schools, at workplace, anywhere, if I was a person who would let that thought of hate to sink in, I think having an organization like Jaunimo Linija was very, very important. So I made the case in court. I don't want him to be punished. I don't want him to be sent to jail, because my goal is not to put someone in jail. And I've been in some as refugee centers where I was closed, where I couldn't have my freedom of movement. And I know how it feels. Even for him, I couldn't wish that. So I said, I want to forgive him, but I want him to learn. And that became the precedent on hate speech based on racial discrimination. And that is the case people take, or the court could look at in order to tackle other problems. So today I'm a coffee person. I'm from Ethiopia, and my business is everything coffee. So my business card, it says, wake up to a better world. And that's what I'm trying to do every day living in Lithuania. And I wish the legal system could recognize that people like me coming to countries, and especially young countries like Lithuania, right? We're gonna be facing many things. I don't mean that people wouldn't be or shouldn't be allowed to express their opinion. I'm absolutely fine with people walking, like people calling me name, for example. I think the word nigger is one of the most popular. So when people say to me nigger, the word says nothing to me because I'm Ethiopian. I don't have a history of slavery. It doesn't say anything. It's not a word which hurts me. I feel for those people whose great-grandparents, just like many Lithuanians, I think, or Baltic country nations, people who have been sent to lagers, to labor camps without their will. I think slavery is similar to that for those people who've been sent to the West as slaves, and I feel for them. And because of that, because of my humanity, I would understand that maybe saying nigger to a person might hurt him, but not to me. So for that, I would go to court. I cannot go to even the police. I would just have a conversation with people on the street. And in Lithuania, living here, my motto is this: wake up to a better world. And today, what I would address rather is that maybe the biggest problem is not the community or the individual who just come out and rant, hurtful words to somebody else. I think where we need to work is the systematic one, the system itself. the discrimination or the hate embedded in the laws, right? That makes life for people who are minority or people who have difficulty to live their everyday life harder. Maybe the words we have to call out, or we have to call people out for, should be the word of politicians. And I think with the migration influx through Belarus to many of the countries, Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, have showed us how politicians could abuse their speech, how they can set precedent on hate. Maybe the prosecutor's office in every country should be focusing on those, the most famous and the powerful, because they impact, because they make opinions. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. They can take story, make it real, and make hate happen in the ground. And the people who are being punished are the community, the neighbor. So I do come from Ethiopia. I've been back to my country a month ago. Even in my country, hate happens a lot within ethnic groups. But I blame the government for that. Because the very existence of government should be about the security of the people, making sure law and order is followed. It's not the individual. So this is why I'm here to speak to you about my experience and my opinion. And we shall be careful. We shall be careful about wokeness. We shall be careful about making everything hate when it's not. So thank you very much, and I hope you'll have a great day.
Thank you, Eskedar. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Question?
Briefly.
Sure.
In case you, ar turit klausimų? Have question in Lithuanian, English. You understand Lithuanian, and
yeah, absolutely.
We could communicate.
I can take that.
Also. Eskedar, when you individually hearing these voices, like every one of us hearing sometimes like hate,
Yes.
some bad things saying about us, what's your individual reaction?
My individual reaction is, I think, the same as when I feel hate towards something. So it's like, I think we can dare to take examples, right? And let's dare to mention the war between Israel and Palestinian people being bombarded. I was not afraid to speak out, saying that governments are going to be always stronger than individuals, right? Governments are always stronger. So when you see people dying, how come you cannot say anything? So people do hate me for saying something like that. And I don't mind. I think hate is about you. It's not about me. If you hate me, something is wrong with you, not with me. Because I think hate is learned. Hate is formed. It's not natural to human beings. I think human beings, compassion is nature. Because when you were born with a nurturer, a mother, a community. So I think hate is learned. So it's not about me. It's
Thank
about
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.